let me check actually. Hello everybody, welcome to the first podcast, first video on this new football channel of mine. I'm joined with Lewis and Finn, and we've got many topics to discuss today, so we won't faff about. We will jump straight in, and we are going to be talking about who is in our team of the year. I think probably about 98% of the team we've agreed on, I'd say. It looks like the majority is pretty much the same. So, goalkeeper.
Alisson.
Yeah.
Can't,
pretty self-explanatory. It's either him or Edison. It's not really.
He's too good.
No one else is really in contention for it. De Gea a couple of years ago, but he's dropped off now.
I mean, I'd argue that Henderson would have been considered
had he not gone back to Man U.
And kept playing for the start of this season.
Yeah, it's a shame that he's gone back to Man U, because obviously you want him to do well because he's an England keeper as well. And him being at Man U, he's
back up to De Gea.
He's now just going to be in De Gea's shadow. So right back, I've gone Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, same.
He can get caught out defensively, but I think the other three in Liverpool's defence make up for that a lot, so it kind of gets overlooked. But he is the best right back in the league.
He's too good at attacking.
I think this season he's been a little bit inconsistent.
Oh yeah,
but
this season.
I think as far as the whole season goes, there's not been a right back close to him.
Yeah.
And if before again I would have said Ricardo was second closest, but then he's been injured for all this season.
Yeah.
So
I mean, attacking wise, he's so no one's put more passes into the box that year.
His pass quality is insane. He can take free kicks as well, which he can play pretty much everywhere on the pitch.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now for centre back, I believe we've had a couple different ones. I've gone for Connor Cody.
Yeah. I went for Fabinho.
Yeah, I understand your choice for Fabinho. Obviously, it's not even his main position, but he plays so well there.
He put in such a shift filling in for Van Dijk. They still went on to win the league despite not having Van Dijk and then even Gomez as well.
Yeah, I'd say, because obviously we've done this on the BBC Sport website, there's a part of me that would have considered, I'm just going for the Leicester player as a backup, Suchi, but once again, obviously he's not played this season, he has for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I just had to go for Fabinho. I think the defence was actually the hardest decision I had to make.
Yeah, same. It was the
because there's not really many people in contention.
It was the other centre back choice, other than the obvious one. Who else do you kind of pick? Yeah. I mean, I went for Connor Cody. I mean, I think he's solid centre back. Guys, obviously his England call up this year, and I think his passing is really good as well. He's always looking forward, and I think he's quite a positive centre back. So I'm looking forward to, hopefully, I'd rather him start alongside Gomez in the England lineup than Maguire, to be honest, because Maguire's a bit of a flop.
I'm saying that though, Connor Cody's just given away an absolutely awful penalty against West Brom.
Yeah.
He's not giving away the penalty for them to win.
I've not seen it yet, so I might be fucking spitting my words back out later. But other centre back choice, I think it's pretty obvious. Van Dijk.
I said Soonchu. I photoshopped him in.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably me being a bit biased, but he was quality last year. He really was. He helped us get to fifth. Just a bit. He lacks a bit of composure. Yeah. Obviously, with that red card against Bournemouth, it's a bit.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he has had a solid
season to play centre back. So
I think, given some time now, I think, especially with him being off, he'll have a lot of time to think about his game. So I think coming back, he'll be a lot stronger. But
does he start though?
Does he get back into the team? Yeah, that is the question.
Yeah, now they've got Fofana, and maybe a question for another video.
Yeah,
I'd say no.
Right now, I wouldn't say so. Right, left back. Andy Robertson.
Yep, so I've got a whole Liverpool back five.
Yeah, there's no other left back in the league that comes close.
No,
I don't think.
Third most assists last year.
Yeah, it's just
left back.
I mean, I actually think Robertson's a bit overrated. I don't think he's the best left back in the world, but I do think he is quality. And once again, there's not really any other left backs to his standard. He's way ahead of everyone else. So
yeah. Right, midfield. I think we've all agreed on the three.
Yeah, we have.
We have, yeah.
I mean, mean, obvious one.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne, yeah.
Yeah.
Just you can't not have him in the team. I think he's the best.
He's a machine.
Well, I suppose they could be up for contention as well between him and Fernandes, but he is the best player in the Premier League right now, I'd say.
Yeah.
He's had a drop of form, but I mean, at the end of the day, who doesn't?
Yeah.
I think he's the best player, but he's the most informed player, Fernandes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I think if they were both on their prime, then De Bruyne would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, he's dropped out a bit of form
Yeah.
at the start of this season.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming back a bit stronger at the minute.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll go for a title charge, who knows. But yeah, Fernandes, obviously since joining Man U last January, he has been unstoppable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he was actually one of the first people I would have put on the team list. But
Yeah.
and it's not because he's the best player, because I wouldn't put him in the top 3 players on this list. But I think it's just because he's the one that everyone fucking talks about, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's the one that is on the name of everyone's tongue. Because I think he's a quality player, but he does have a lot of luck. Which essentially you do need luck, because I'd say the same about Vardy. I think he's actually quite a lucky player, but
Yeah. The luck is part of football. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
yeah.
You could talk about the whole penalty merchant sort of thing, but on paper, like he's scored more, he's been part of more goals than he has played games, so it all contributes.
And then obviously the final choice.
Yeah.
I'm
Grealish.
So we've all put Grealish in midfield, and that was mainly so I could worm a way for someone else to be in the
That's
attack.
the thing. I was going to put
Yeah.
Grealish in left wing, obviously where he plays, but it forces you to put him in midfield.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually happy about that, because I think there was better strikers than there was midfielders.
Yeah.
I think if I put Grealish on the wing, I don't think I would have put him in.
No, yeah, that's the thing. It's That's the thing that worries me about like his England call-ups, because he plays so much as a left winger that it might damage his ability to get in the England lineup. That's what I was worried about that before he actually got into the England team. Now he's obviously played a few games under his belt with England. That I don't think Gareth Southgate can't ignore him.
No.
But he probably still will.
Yeah,
So,
he still tries.
yeah, but obviously he is the drive of that Villa team.
Yeah.
Like he saved them last year, and every time you see him play,
There's not really anyone I can see them replacing. There's no one that Villa can replace Grealish with that would want to go to Villa right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Right, front three. Who have you gone for right wing?
Salah.
Salah.
I'll put Son in that position, in that right wing one, but
Oh yeah.
I just pick front like attackers. So
Yeah, I mean Salah. Again, it's a fairly obvious choice.
I mean, it was definitely between him or Mane. You'd have to say one.
I put Mane in over Salah for Liverpool. I think he's a bit more consistent. He didn't score as much as Salah, but I just think he's a bit more consistent than Salah.
My choice for Salah over Mane because I think Mane can be a bit more greedy when it comes to ball possession, and I think Salah is a bit more composed when it comes to finishing and stuff.
Yeah, I think Salah's assists make him a better winger, because Mane is a bit of a ball hog. He's probably the biggest ball hog in the Premier League at the moment. I don't dislike Mane.
James Maddison.
Yeah,
James Maddison is definitely. Mane is a quality player, but it's just I think Salah's slightly ahead of him.
Yeah. I mean,
I think in terms of quality, I'd pick Salah over Mane, but I just think in terms of consistency, like you can see, like Salah goes through peaks and troughs, and he's in a trough at the minute. He's not scored in like the past 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, which is
Whereas
unusual.
Mane just seems more consistent.
I hope he does something against Man U and Burnley, because he is my captain.
Right, left wing. I've gone for Son.
Son.
Yeah.
Again, I was debating Mane, but one thing that kind of pushed me to not choose him, because I felt like I had too many Liverpool players in, so that was kind of a reason. But then Son, that doesn't take anything away from Son. He did have a great season.
Yeah, well, I think Son's probably the player that I can pick out the most of my team, where he's got into the team of the year based on this season more than like the whole year, because the rest of the team I'd say would have been team of the season last season, but Son has kind of like pushed that extra space into getting to the team this year. Because he was quality last season, but like this year he's
stepped up a level.
And I think he's better.
I mean, his goal against Burnley last year was insane.
That was sick.
That was incredible.
Goal of the year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Obviously, Tottenham always go through their dips. They always normally have like an all right start, go through about a dry spell for like 2-3 months over the winter, and then they pick themselves back up towards the end of the season. But Son, as much as he doesn't score or maybe he might not assist, he's a quality player on the pitch for him. Right, a final place striker. Got back.
Jamie
Vardy.
I still think that Vardy's not being considered enough. He literally won the Golden Boot.
That's the thing. Yeah, everyone says like, oh yeah, Kane or Firmino, but
who won the Golden Boot?
Yeah, they're saying that
last year's Golden Boot winner, and he was 33.
Yeah. And I'd argue that yes, he has become a bit of a pen merchant this season, but last season he wasn't. You know, he won the Golden Boot, and he only scored like 4 or 5 penalties max last season. Yeah. I know this season he has had a few penalties, but then you can also look at it like a lot of the penalties we win are from Vardy. Yeah, they are penalties, and they are won by Vardy.
Yeah.
You know, any other player, if you know how to win penalties, then win them.
Yeah. That's the thing. Vardy has a really good way of getting himself in the way of the ball and the man, so you get touched.
Penalty, yeah.
So, yeah, these are our team of the years. So, how much do you think this would differ for team of the season at the end?
Oh, yeah, I think there'll be quite a few changes. I think that the back four of Liverpool's will not be a full back. Back five of Liverpool's. I think there'll be 2 other players in there. Maybe one of the full backs will go.
I think Robertson will stay in.
Yeah, if
Robertson
any of the 4 are going.
Arnold's definitely not in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it. Unless if they come back and win the league, then it won't be. But I definitely can't say that it would be the back four. I think Fofana might be in there.
I think if Fofana keeps up his form, it'll be like Sionchu was last year next to Van Dijk. But I think if Fabinho plays centre back much more this season, I think maybe he'll get a permanent.
Yeah, but Fabinho could stay there.
And then him and Fofana. But I don't know who else I'd choose at centre back who's really strong right now.
There's not really anyone. No. I think nobody looks solid this year, do they?
No, there's been a few shocks.
There's the league this season is like, that's the thing, like this point in the season you can normally like have a good stab at who's going to win the league, but
it's all up in the air.
There's a good few teams that could have it.
But it's good. It's better than knowing like last season Liverpool are going to win it. Like there's nothing anyone can really do. No, it's like everyone wants it.
That's why they had like a 90-point season last season, but that's not happening this season.
Well, no team will get 90 points this year. I'd say De Bruyne might be out of it.
Yeah.
To be honest,
he's only just getting back to himself, isn't he?
If he picks up form to like Fernandes quality, if for the next 5 months, then he's in it.
Yeah.
But if he's not contributing like at least 1 or 2 goals a game, then no. Fernandes is obviously in it.
Yeah, so Fernandes, I think Grealish should be in it again as well.
Yeah, Grealish should be in it.
And then up front, I think Vardy will be out.
He's knowing Grealish because he plays for Villa, he won't be in the starting team of the season, he'll be like one of the subs. So someone will be in there ahead of him.
Probably, but realistically he should be in it. And then obviously I think Salah and Vardy won't be in it either.
Yeah, I don't think Vardy will be in it. I think it'll probably be Kane. It just depends on who scores the most goals, doesn't it? It could be anyone. It could be any of like 4 players in a minute.
Yeah, I don't think it's really that obvious for anything.
Yeah,
no, so far.
It's all very up in the air.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably be able to do a team of the season right now and it would be completely different to my team of the year, but I can't say that it will be right because it's been such a weird season now.
Yeah,
I just don't think
anything can happen now.
Yeah.
I think a few weeks previous I would have made an argument for Calvert-Lewin, but again, he's not looking.
Yeah, he's got an injury now.
Everyone was waiting for them to drop off form. Nobody.
The Kazoo title race.
I can't see like reason with anyone that thought they were going to keep up their form. Like, because Calvert-Lewin is. Like, he's alright, but he was in the form of his life at the start of the season, but like, not everyone keeps that up.
No.
Like, Kane drops off and he's arguably England's best striker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the rush went to Villa fans and Everton fans' heads. I mean, Hull came up a few seasons ago and they were in the top 4 at Christmas and then finished 16th. So.
Right, so, obviously it's December. Like I said, normally you can have a good stab at who's going to win the league.
I mean, it's January.
Yep, it's January.
Yeah, you can usually have a good stab.
Usually have a good stab at who's going to win the league at this time of the season, but obviously everything's kind of up in the air. I mean, Man U are top of the league at the minute. That's the first time they've been top of the league in January since like 2013, I think it is. So yeah, who's in the title race?
I think all of the current top four and Spurs are in the title race.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea are out of it.
Yeah, Chelsea.
They might get top four.
Chelsea have dropped too many
Their
points.
attack is just terrible. They
It's
spend so
over.
much money.
I mean, if you lose 6 games on a bounce, like you can't afford to do that now. It's too. It damages the season too much. Everton are gone. Tottenham, yeah, they're in it.
Tottenham are in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the title, yeah, like you said, the title race is probably full of about 5 teams, like the 5 that you mentioned, top 4 at the minute, which is Man U, Liverpool, Man City, Leicester and Tottenham. But realistically, I think only 2 or 3 of them can actually win it.
I think the top 3 can actually.
Yeah,
win it.
I think
I
top
don't think
3
we've
have got
got
the
much.
most.
No, us and Tottenham, yeah, we're in the race, but we're going to lose.
What will happen is we're going to beat someone like Liverpool, Man U, Man City, and then we'll lose to Burnley 4-0 the day after.
Yeah.
Like that's just Leicester's way, so that's
Yeah.
why I don't think we'll. I think in a couple of years' time we'll be able to knock them consistencies off the head if we keep improving. But
Yeah.
I still think 4th place is a push this season. I think we'll finish 5th again.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
us
I
finishing
think-
5th. I think a similar thing will happen to last season. Not as drastically, like we'll have that long of a bad run, but I think we will have kind of like a bad run of like 3 or 4 games towards the end of the season, which will force us down into 5th place.
Yes.
I think, in terms of I think who's going to win it, for me it's between Man U and Liverpool. Out of that, I think one of them 2 might win it.
I'm going to back the team who I said win it in the first place, and that's Man City. They're a game in hand, they win that, they're only a point behind Man U.
Yeah.
I think Man City will win it.
I don't like to say it, but I feel like it is between Liverpool and Man U, like you said. I mean, not to say that Man City can't, because
Yeah, they can.
obviously
They definitely can. It's just, I mean, the Man U, the stats don't lie. They've drew 3 games, won 11, they lost 3. Liverpool have only won 9. They've drew 6 of their games, so they've lost a fair few points there. I mean, yes, some of their penalties come at like ridiculous times. Like they come at very crucial times that happen to get them like up the table. I mean, cause obviously a lot of people moan at Man U, but we've actually had more penalties than them in the league. But the thing is with Man U is that they seem to have more penalties at crucial times.
Yeah,
I think they also have a lot of
less
decisions not
like
given.
clear penalties.
Yeah,
ours
like
are penalties.
I mean, Pogba's literally
Most
the other week.
Yeah.
Fernandes is the other season against Villa. Like it's just ridiculous. Like, how can that be watched by VAR and thought,
Well, there's a lot of decisions that should be given against them that aren't as well.
Yeah.
So obviously there was that one where Man U had Chelsea and Harry Maguire was literally ragging literally was ragging him around and they literally did nothing about it, and that was a blatant penalty in my
That
opinion.
was such a boring game.
I think Man City will win it, but I feel like if they're not going to win it, Man U will. They're going to spawn their way up to the fucking title, and it's going to piss me off so much. Last year it annoyed me that Liverpool won it, but I think it would annoy me more if Man U win it this year.
Yeah, definitely. Because they have such bad performances. How can you be this high in the league and play that as bad as they do? It's just, I don't get it.
I mean, at the start of the season they lost 6-1 to Spurs.
Yeah.
6-1.
6-1.
Yeah. And now look, they're top of the table.
Then they go and do what they do to Leeds and.
I feel like it's kind of happened in the background. Like everyone was making fun of Man U for having their dodgy performances, and then people were taking the mick out of Arsenal, and then while people have been taking the mick out of Arsenal, Man United have come out of nowhere.
Yeah, Arsenal are
top
just
of the table.
Arsenal are just a joke at this point. Yeah. I mean, I think Man U and Liverpool are the 2 most likely to win it. But if I had to predict the top 3, it would be Liverpool first, because I mean, even when they showed like a hint of weakness, they're still incredibly strong.
Yeah.
Second, I think will be Man United, just like so close behind them, and then Man City also very close, and then Fourth, I did have here Chelsea, but I'm going to scrap them, and it's going to be, I'd say it's between us and Spurs for fourth place.
I'm going to say mine is Man City, Man U, Liverpool, Spurs, Leicester.
Ooh.
So Liverpool, Man U, Man City, Leicester, Spurs.
Let's see how wrong we are at the end of the season.
I mean, I said Man City first, Chelsea second, Liverpool third at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, look how Chelsea turned out.
I took an absolute stab and said Chelsea, but look how that's turned out. So
Yeah.
the way they spent the money, it's just not worked out for them.
Do you know
If Liverpool do retain the title, that is incredibly impressive.
Do you want to know a fun fact? I've got the Premier League winner right every year since Leicester won the league. And after the first game of the season when we beat Sunderland, when we won the league, I jokingly said to my uncle, I might stick a bet on Leicester winning the league.
I remember jokingly saying to you, like, oh, we won, we're going to win the league.
But, like, so every single year since the 15-16 season, I've got the winner right. So if Man City don't win it, it'll be the first year. I'm not worried about it.
I have to put a bet on.
You know,
They're going to fucking come fifth.
Right, so we spoke about the top end of the table, and now it's time to speak about the bottom end of the table. Who is getting relegated?
The bottom three now: Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield United. I think West Brom will come 18th, Fulham 19th, and Sheffield United 5th.
I've put 20th Sheffield, 19th West Brom, and 18th I think it's between Fulham or Brighton.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I mean, Sheffield have only just got their first win.
Yeah, I think they won't get. I think they'll
they
get one.
can't. If anyone's definite, it's Sheffield United.
We could see an all-time record low.
I think they will get 12 points at least and beat Derby's record. I hope they do. That's a record I want Derby to keep forever. But yeah, I think they will. I think now they've got one win, they might go on to get a couple more. But I think it's too little, too late. I definitely think they'll get relegated. They might not come bottom, but I think they're.
That's the thing. You can't afford to do that in the Premier League. It's just. It's too harsh.
One of my controversial decisions at the beginning of the season was to put Sheffield United 16th because they didn't really sign anyone and they've been found out because nothing changed. It's the exact same as last season. They were a bit spawny last season anyway. I do feel sorry for them that they obviously drew that game with Villa that Villa should have lost because they scored. But I think that's irrelevant really because to put it truthfully, they've fucked it.
Yeah, they're well and truly thrown it away.
I think West Brom will come 18th. Obviously, they've just beaten Wolves like literally just before this started as well. So, and I just think Fulham. I mean, they beat us, but they've been lucky. I think Fulham have got really lucky with all of their wins.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
West Brom
what was the score against Liverpool?
West Brom. They drew 1-1.
I think it's 1-0.
I'll have a look.
It's the same against
Fulham.
Fulham.
Drew 1-0.
Same against Fulham. Liverpool had like a tough game against them as well.
Like us. Can't break down teams that part the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fulham were crap. So I think Fulham will go down. I thought Fulham would come bottom at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
so I put us bottom.
Yeah, Fulham, there's got nothing about them. I mean, you can't call any of them players like deadly or like.
No. There's only they've only got 4 or 5 players that are actually Premier League players, and the rest of them are Championship standard. I think West Brom, I've got a few more. I actually quite like a few West Brom players. I like Pereira.
Yeah, Pereira's decent.
Yeah.
I like Sam Johnson as well as keeper, but I just think again it's probably a bit. I mean, now they've won West Brom. They're a game in hand on Brighton, and if they win that game in hand, they're only 1 point behind Brighton. In fact, Brighton are drawing 0-0 right now as well, so they'll be on the same amount of points.
Yeah. I don't think Brighton will. I don't think it's between Fulham and Brighton. I think it is just Sheffield, West Brom, and Fulham for me. I think Brighton will manage to scrape a good few wins. And
Brighton remind us of us when we stayed up because they've been really struggling to get results, but they've not actually played bad. They've not really been spanked by anyone. They've not
played poorly.
They've just been unlucky.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a game that they win that will give them a bit of momentum. I think Burnley are more likely to finish 17th than Brighton. I can also see Newcastle finishing.
Yeah, Newcastle have been poor.
Newcastle always somehow manage to get points, and they somehow manage to not get relegated every season.
The thing is, now I think Steve Bruce is. I think he could be the next manager to be sacked.
To go, really.
Yeah,
Newcastle fans cannot stand him. And the money they spend, they should be at least like the top half of the bottom half. Like
there's no love for that club anymore. It's just.
Well, it's because the owner's a dickhead, ain't he?
Yeah, the owner doesn't care for it.
Good fans though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. Yeah, I think I think Newcastle and Burnley are both more likely to go down than Brighton.
Yeah. So we agree on Sheffield, West Brom,
and Fulham.
Yeah, I don't think it could be anyone else.
I mean, at one point Arsenal were in talks for it, weren't they?
Yeah.
A couple of
Relegation
weeks
battle.
ago.
Yeah, and I've got a few wins, but that'll probably dip off again at some point.
Yeah, I think that's literally just because a few young players have came through and they're actually showing hunger,
Yeah.
rather than like Aubameyang and stuff, who's gone so many games.
Aubameyang will go at the end.
Yeah, I don't rate him. I can't stand people who say he's better than like.
He's not better than Vardy.
Better than Vardy.
He's literally a slightly quicker Vardy, but worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with less finishing ability. Final topic for this first podcast. Obviously, Vardy won the Golden Boot last year, but is he going to retain it?
I'd love for him to retain it.
I'd love for him to do it, but he's not really.
No, I don't think he's going to. I think he could, but he won't.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think Son.
Really?
I'm going to go with a stab in the dark and say Son. I mean, he's second now anyway,
Yeah.
but I think Son.
Yeah,
Come on,
could be strong.
Because even when Spurs are playing crap, Son and Kane
Yeah.
seem to pop up with their goals. That's where all their goals come from.
Yeah,
So-
that's the thing. Mourinho relies on just Kane and Son
Yeah,
to do
it's
this.
an army of two at Spurs.
I mean, Salah's currently winning, but
Is Salah,
Yeah.
is Salah on 13 and Son on 11?
12.
12.
He goes 13, 12, then 4 players on 11, including Vardy, Calvert-Lewin, Fernandes, and Kane.
I mean, yeah, Fernandes. I mean, he's not.
It's not
He's
bad
not
for a midfielder.
that's the thing. He's not going to keep it up because he's a midfielder. I don't imagine he'd keep it up
He
anyway.
would get injured as well because he's played like every game. I can see him getting injured. If he gets injured, then he will
That'll be, yeah.
fall.
I don't know,
Damage to
because
Man U.
I think they'll leave him out of every single Europa League game because they won't care for it.
I don't know. I think they want to win that.
Because now I think they'll go for the league. They need to. I think if Man U want to win the league, they need to. If you're not going to play players like Donny van der Beek in the league, shove him into Europa League games and he starts all of them.
Yeah, because he's a good player.
Yeah. It actually
Shouldn't get
it
paid.
annoys me that he's gone to them and he just sits on the
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah.
It's such a waste of quality.
Like it's so stupid. Why buy him if you're not going to play it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I
he
mean-
is quality.
Yeah, Pogba's kind of picked up in form as of lately. I mean, a couple of weeks ago he had a bit of a blinder. I can't remember who it was against, but he actually seems to take like some sort of leadership in that team now. Like not like a captain's role, but I think Fernandes being there, he's finally kind of started to pick himself up a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is a bit off topic, but I think if Man U don't win the league this year, they're not going to win it for 5-10 years. So I think if they don't win it this year, then Pogba will go.
Pogba's gone.
I think De Gea will go at the end of this season. And I'm not saying De Gea is critical to their performance. I do think he's a good keeper. He does make good saves.
He
He's
is.
prone to mistakes
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But I think he'll go this season. I think a lot of their players will turn their back and go to Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, who are all rebuilding. Van der Beek's gone. He's got Bayern Munich written all over him.
Man U want to sign Ramos as well as Liverpool. So
He'll go Liverpool. I can't see him going, man.
Yeah.
no, yeah. Speaking of transfers, that's also a bit off topic. But have you seen that PSG apparently are willing to sell Mbappe to buy Messi?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I don't know if that's worth it. I think Mbappe's quality, but I'd rather have Messi in my team than Mbappe right now. Easily.
I don't know. Mbappe's obviously he's young. He's like is he the most
He's
expensive
young.
player? Mbappe.
Yeah, he's the second most valued player.
Is it?
Rashford's the most valued player
Is it?
in the world.
To
Yeah.
go football.
I don't know how, because I think Mbappe's
English.
twice the player as Rashford.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thing is Mbappe
I mean, Mbappe's
is
got a World Cup under his belt.
he's got a World Cup, but he's got that and League One. You know, the only teams he played for is
Yeah.
PSG and Monaco. I mean, saying that,
That's
so is Messi.
Same as Messi. Yeah, he's only
That's the reason I know
I
it's
think
been
Ronaldo's better.
I think Ronaldo's better than Messi.
He's
Because he's proven himself in
multiple
multiple leagues.
Premier League,
Yeah, I think
Spanish, Italian.
there's a lot of things you can say about that argument. Like, I feel like it's hard to compare them really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Messi's the much better with the ball, but I think Ronaldo's a born finisher.
Yeah,
And I'd
he's
rather have a
finishing
born finisher than someone with
Yeah.
the ball.
Yeah. And they used to play obviously very similar positions, but now Ronaldo plays as just an out and out striker,
Yeah.
and Messi he drops deep a lot of the time now because he's getting older.
Yeah. I think Messi looks older as well. I think Ronaldo doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
Ronaldo he
peak
keeps saying he
condition.
wants to keep going, and he was when he joined Juventus, he had like a better physical like test than like everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was said like he had like when he did his test, when he went for his medical, he had like the fitness of like a young 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's in like his
I remember reading
early
that.
30s, like mid-30s. He'll go to when he's like 40, because as a striker he won't always need pace. He can just like, I mean, look how high he jumps.
Yeah.
Just get his head on the ball.
He'll finish his career at Juventus, I think. I think he'll just be like a sub-striker. He'll be like TOTY staying at Rome.
Do you reckon he'll ever go back to Man U?
No.
I don't think he wants.
He had the option to go back to Man U, he didn't want to. He went to Juventus. Piemonte, Calcio.
Especially not now.
Yeah, definitely not.
No.
They've already got Cavani anyway,
Yeah.
who's essentially just a slightly younger Ronaldo that's not quite as good. So I do rate Cavani, but...
Yeah, Cavani's good. It was a good signing for them, because he comes on and he just scores. He gets all like his assists. Anyway, we went a bit off topic there.
Yeah. Golden Boot.
The Golden Boot, yeah. I think Salah.
Son.
I think realistically, it's between them two. I've said I'd like it to be Vardy. I don't think it will be Vardy. If we keep getting penalties and he keeps starting, then potentially. But I don't know.
I think
There's no consistency with penalties, but all teams are likely to get more penalties now. We've got VAR than before.
I think Kane's definitely in there for a shout, but I don't think he. I think Kane will probably come like third, finish third.
Yeah, I think the top three now is the top three at the end. I just think it's on my edge.
Fernandes will drop off, and I'd say he'd probably finish on like 16 goals maybe.
Yeah, there's got to be a point where he stops scoring.
Yeah.
I know he's good and he's a midfielder, but if he keeps scoring so often, then
if
he's unreal.
If Danny Ings wasn't out as often as he has been this season, I'd say he'd be in probably top 5 maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he's not
obviously,
playing today,
obviously last season he had like the season of his life, his best season he's ever had. So, and he still only gets like 15 minutes for England.
Yeah. Well,
They were saying that though. Right now, you'd pay Kane and Cavaloon over him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
So.
Right. So let's see how wrong we are at the end of the season, or how right.
Probably very wrong.
Very wrong.
Yeah.
We're going to have like a dark horse come through on the goals, like Bamford.
Oh,
I can't believe Zaha scored 8 goals, to be honest.
I don't know where they've come from. It
No.
seems like he's only scored like 3 or 4. Right. Well, thank you for watching this first podcast. Before we end, actually, predictions for tonight's game: Leicester Southampton.
2-1 Leicester.
I'd say 2-1 Leicester, but I'm more thinking it's going to be 2-1 to them.
I'm also saying 2-1,
optimistic.
but I couldn't say who's going to take it.
I think Southampton realistically will win 2-1, but I don't like betting.
They probably want it more than we do, to be honest.
Probably.
Probably still sore from that.
The thing is, we
right
need.
now.
I think if we lose this, we lose against Chelsea as well.
I think if we lose this one, we're likely to beat Chelsea. I feel like we could absolutely spank these and then we're going to lose to Chelsea like 4-0.
Spank them 10-0. Let's go double it. Not double it.
We'll
Go one more from last year.
I genuinely think Southampton.
They're a strong side.
I really like Southampton.
I like Southampton.
They might be my
Favourite non-supported team.
non-sport team in the Premier League, just
I do
because
really like
they should have sacked Hasenhüttl after they lost 0. Any other team that lost sacked him.
After that 9-0, they've
done quality. He's turned it around.
really well.
Although I think he's a bit of an anti-boy for crying after they beat Liverpool, but you know.
Yeah.
It just shows how much the game and the team means to him.
Yeah.
Really.
Passion. Anyway.
Yeah, on that note.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please give it a like. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Finn, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back soon with another debate. And subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.